Bonjour! My name is Abomination, and welcome back to the YCL. This is the season review video, because I have lost the first round of playoffs. I'm going to be talking about my team in the order I drafted it, and also sort of how the matches went. So, Jirachi went 8-5, okay? That is actually better than what I thought it was. If I scroll down here and look at this, how the weeks go, 8-5 not including the playoff match, which it did not get a kill and it died, so really 8-6. But, looking at this, it got 4 kills in week 2 and 2 kills in week 1. And then after that, that's already 6, so there's only 2 more kills for the rest of the season. Looks like it's in 1 in week 5 and 1 in week 7. Which is correct. But overall, I was actually kind of not very impressed with Jirachi. Now, I'm not really sure why, because Jirachi is good. I know back in BDSP I drafted it and it did really good there, although it kind of failed me with Meteor Mash not boosting his attack, but in this season, I don't know why I felt like it just wasn't that good. Steel is not a good offensive type, and neither really is Psychic. It's a good defensive thing, but what I think happens with Jirachi is that it just kind of forces my opponent to prep for the Iron Head, right? Because if they don't, then they're in trouble. They could potentially be in trouble, like we saw with week 2 and Mr. Braves, Southside Braves. He kind of didn't prepare for Jirachi flinching him to death, and that's kind of what happened. But other than that week, I never really got flinching. I never got that ball rolling. So, Jirachi, while I still like it, and I would draft it again if I feel like it, I don't dislike it, I think that I would need a little bit more to help it to deal with the things that resist steel, which is a lot. There's a lot. It's always, if you look at the team builder for most teams, steel is never a problem for them. It never will be. Right? Because it's just not good. Of course, taking out fairy types is really nice, but that's kind of the main thing. But, so overall, Jirachi, if I had to give it a rating out of 10, how much I enjoyed it this season, probably 6.5 out of 10, I'll say. Screamtail went 0-3, came to 6 games, and also playoff games. It came to 7 games and went 0-4 because of the playoff match. I've said this a few times in a few videos before, but I do not like Screamtail. Not really. I do like it. I shouldn't say that. I do like Screamtail, but I don't like using it because it clouds, for some reason, using it. This entire season, I wanted 5 moves on the set, and B, I always thought my opponents were going to expect Encore. And they were always going to expect what I brought. When I brought it in, I was like, okay, they're going to know what I have. For some reason, I kept thinking that. And only for Screamtail, not for anything else I had. Only for Screamtail, I was like, okay, they're going to know I'm going to Encore. They're going to know I'm going to do this. And I never brought an offensive one with Bulk Up or Calm Mind. So, Screamtail, didn't like using it, probably 4 out of 10. Although it is very bulky, look at that, 115 HP and 115 special defense, 99 defense, and also really fast at 111. I don't. It's bulky, but it's not unmanageable, because for some reason, again, I didn't want to push Wish because I thought my opponents were going to expect me to push Wish, so I never did. It's just very bad. Okay, and also Wish Protect, you kind of have to run 2 moves there, which is okay, but Screamtail is not my thing. Goodra, I drafted. It went 4-6 in the playoff game, even though it's a negative differential. Tenobeta, which was his name, by the way, and Screamtail's name is Sonier, and Jirachi doesn't have a name. Tenobeta the Goodra. I'm going to try to draft Goodra pretty much every single season, I think. I think it is an incredibly good piece to have. It's a fair, like a dragon type. If you need a dragon type, it's a fair one. The only times I won't draft it is if I feel like drafting something that can Dragon Dance, which is pretty much the other option with dragons. There's a lot of things that can Dragon Dance. So something like that, and also if I feel like my ice weakness isn't as bad, because a lot of those Dragon Dancers like to have at times for weakness to ice. But Goodra is extremely good. I don't think it's that slow. With 80 speed, it's pretty good. And it's very specially defensive, which you saw this season as well. I keep drafting it in a lot of seasons. I drafted it again. It's good. It did a lot of damage, I should say. It didn't really finish things off. It just did a lot of chip. Like, you come in, and then, most things are going to want to switch out on a Goodra. Most special attackers are probably going to want to switch out on a Goodra. Or if it's a Terra Captain, they switch to a Terra that can beat it, right? That is super effective anyway. Assault Vest Goodra is amazing. I love using Goodra. It's 8 out of 10 for usage this season. I am not disappointed with Goodra at all. It was my mistake in the playoff match. I sacked Goodra to Glaceon for no reason. My mistake. That was not Goodra's fault at all. And I lowered his speed with the nature, which I did a lot this season. And it finally came back. To bite me in the playoff game, which is not really what I want to see it for the first time. Weavile Rogal went very strong 7-2. It got the counter KO, so it went 8-3 overall, including the playoff match. The counter KO on Azumarill, which is very strong in the playoff game. I've already explained a few times that it was going to kill either Azumarill or Tauros in that game. I knew that was going to happen, unless he had hazards on the field, but I felt as though they weren't going. I don't think he had any. If I'm being honest. I think it was just sticky webs. So I knew the focus sash was going to be used. I knew I was going to get that kill, and I did. I got one of them. But the other one was still around, and it just wasn't enough for me to win. But overall, Weavile 8-3 is very strong, but I still feel a little iffy on it. Having my fast guy being weak to rocks, I'm not entirely sure how I like that. I know I've probably said that in week 7 when I drafted Iron Bundle, and it's the same thing. I did not miss a single triple axle. I will say that. I hit every triple axle I did, and every single, that's a lot of triple axles. If you count each attempt as 3, because it hits 3 times. And it is very offensive. Dark and Ice are very offensive types. So, would I draft it again? Yes. I didn't say I would. I would draft Goodra again, for sure. And Screamtail, I don't think I'll draft again. Weavile, I would. Rogal, really strong. I really did like using it, but I think there was one game. Well, obviously in week 6, I think. Yeah, week 6, I got 3 KOs. That was against the Rain team, but I just kind of ice sharded everything at the end. And then it was just kind of mixed here. There's 2 in week 4 against Squid. Right, yeah. It was good, strong against Squid for sure. And that's really it. There's a couple more kills around, but that's it. So I did like it. I think it hits extremely hard with knockoff and triple axle for sure. You have to risk missing. So every season, usually it's one fast guy that I have, or I have two fast guys, but one of them, I always have a guy that's really fast, hits really hard. It's nice. Obviously, you should have one of those. Weavile was it for this season. I'm probably not going to draft it again immediately, but yeah, Donphan. I finally got Donphan. Every time, it's on my list every single season, but it's always taken before I can get it. Round 5 Donphan is fine. Dontar, he went 4-4, but I think he went 5-5, including the playoff game. Sturdy never came into play, but that doesn't matter. Assault Vest Donphan is also extremely good if I don't want to run Assault Vest on Gudra. And Rapid Spin Stealth Rock, it's a Great Tusk Light, pretty much, but it can't bulk up, It's not as good as Great Tusk, obviously, but it's very good for 9 points. I really enjoyed Donphan. I absolutely would draft it again. I wasn't sure, because Donphan and Shiftry were my only 2 ways to get rid of hazards in this entire season. Donphan and Shiftry were my only ways to get rid of hazards, and Moltres somehow did not take Stealth Rock damage this entire season. Weavile, I didn't say. Weavile, 7 out of 10. Donphan, 7.5 out of 10. Really enjoyed Donphan. Would use again, would recommend. Porygon 2. If I'm being honest, I don't even think I admitted this all season. When I drafted Porygon 2, I thought it still had Curse and Last Resort. It does not. And it also doesn't have Teleport anymore, which I knew it didn't have Teleport. But now Curse and Last Resort being gone probably doesn't mean that much to most people, but my favorite Porygon 2 set is Curse, Last Resort, Recover, and Foul Play or Iron Tail, or whatever the last move is. Something like that, with Analytic. It's a strong set. This season, though, did not come to that many games. Came to week 1, and died to a Cinccino without doing anything. In week 5? What? Oh. Came in against Iron Crown, it didn't do anything. And then... week 6. Week 6 was the only week that it did good against the Rain team, right? Because I was able to just try-attack his team. Pretty much. But that was it. And then week 9. Oh yeah. Week 9 was also good because I was able to stop Gouging Fire. Pretty much with Porygon 2, but a little disappointed still. Honestly, I kind of forgot about those. Both of those games weren't the most serious things. Week 9, hardly even. Week 8 and 9 I don't count as much because I didn't put that much time into them because I knew I was going to playoffs already, but I did lose those last 2 weeks, 2-0, and I didn't do anything, but Porygon 2, but week 6 though I did try, because I wanted to bounce back week, so I did try that one, so Porygon 2 did good in that one, but for this season, I'm gonna have to just give it 5 out of 10 or something. I would draft it again for sure, but probably not for a while. If it gets Curse and Last Resort, I will draft it again. It's 8 points. If it could Terrastalize, maybe I could try drafting it there as well. Moltres, I was impressed with. When I drafted Moltres, I was not actually sure. Moltres, Fire and Flying is extremely offensive. Very offensive. And defensive Moltres was also extremely good in week 4. Week 4. Although Moltres didn't get a single kill, week 4 was really good against Squid. Week 1, the first attack we did was Hurricane and we missed. Week 2, did nothing. Week 3, got 2 kills against Blattle, right? Because we went Scarf and caught him off guard with that. Moltres, very strong. Very good Pokemon. And I did not run Heavy Duty Boots one time this season, and we did not take stealth rock damage at all this entire season, despite our weak removal, which I'm very happy with. I do appreciate that being the case. So Moltres would draft again, might draft again next season, honestly, and probably like 9 out of 10, I'd say. Probably my favorite Pokemon for this season. Shiftry was one of my Terra captains, as you see the types there. Came to one game and was the MVP for that game, at least on my side. Got 2 kills, and then Tailwind ended, so he died. I don't like it. I don't like it because Tailwind ends, and then all of a sudden he just gets out his head and dies, and he has a hard enough time getting that Tailwind up in the first place. Wind Rider is okay, you're immune to Hurricane and like Blizzard and stuff, but not worth it. The only reason why Shiftry is here is because of Defog. If I could help it, I would not draft it again. Probably my enjoyment was 3 out of 10. And not just using it, these numbers also reflect on paper, like matchup, before I even built the team. Like, obviously I considered it for a lot of games, but I just never brought it. Swalot is definitely an underestimated 2-point Pokemon. It's very bulky, and it learns a lot of good coverage moves. It did not get a single kill, but you know, it does have those moves. And Toxic Spikes are okay. I'm learning. I'm realizing that I don't really like them. Toxic Spikes. I don't like, because there wasn't a single game where they did anything. And in the FBL that I'm in as well, I have a Toxapex, and Toxic Spikes is not doing anything. So I think I'd rather honestly just prefer regular Toxic on Swalot than Toxic Spikes, because honestly they're not. I don't think they're that. For some reason I can't get them to be good. Toxic Spikes are always good against me, pretty much. A lot of times they're good against me. I just can't get it done, but that's no fault to Swalot. I did like it, and Sticky Hold, great abilities, honestly. Liquid Ooze and Sticky Hold and Gluttony are all pretty good abilities. I brought it 3 times because I need a ground and poison type. When I think my opponent's going to try and bring Toxic Spikes, I try to bring Swalot. Week 9 though didn't do anything, right? I just died to a Arachnid. But for the times it did show up, like I brought it week 2 against Mr. Braves, and it did good there. I know I brought it in the rain game, which I got crit by a Hurricane and died, but that was okay. I did like Swalot. If I didn't say the number, I'd say probably about 7 out of 10. Taking into account he's worth 2 points as well. Swalot's name was Naltox. Shiftry was... I'll put it on the screen, I don't remember. Moltres didn't have a name. Porygon 2 is Caradine. Donphan is Dondar. Forgot to mention those names. And then Feraligatr is Brizna. Actually, here. Kosobutsu. Shiftry's name is Kosobutsu, which is like stealth leaf or something in a few languages, maybe. Don't remember. Obviously, Japanese is in there. Feraligatr was the tied for the kill leader at the end of the season at 14 kills, tied with Ursaluna Bloodmoon. And honestly, Feraligatr is worth 11 points. Pretty good, honestly. I stopped bringing it for some reason. After week 7, I just stopped bringing it. Against Nick, Golden Guy, I brought that banded set and got 2 kills there. But in week 6, I didn't bring it. Week 5, I did. I brought it like, the first half of the season, almost every game, right? Look at that. 4 kills, 1 kill. 3 kills, 3 kills. 1, didn't show up, and then 2. And then I didn't bring it for the last 2, which was a mistake. And then I didn't bring it for the playoff game because I thought he was going to be walled by I thought she was going to be walled by Paldean Aquatoros. Although I did have a set for it, which I did explain in that video. But I did like using Feraligatr. I like Feraligatr a lot. I would draft it again. Probably, I'm going to say 7 out of 10 for Feraligatr. Really good. Really happy with her performance. And overall, I did like this team. I didn't think it was perfect because of the removal. Wasn't that good. But because I thought that was going to be my downfall. I thought I was going to lose a game, get kicked out of the season because of hazards. But thankfully, Nico Ryan is actually really cool, and they don't have hazards. They do not rely on them. Looks like their team. They do not rely on hazards. Galvantula, obviously. Sticky Webs. Who cares? That's not that bad. Sticky Webs is not that annoying. Only a very few Pokemon can do it, and the ones that can do it are almost niche to Sticky Web. Galvantula obviously can do other stuff, but that's the situation. Really big fan of Nico Ryan's team. It's very cool. But, and I got Feraligatr in the last round, which is really nice. I noticed about halfway through the draft that everyone had basically had their water type, so I knew I could wait to get mine. And I wasn't sold. I wasn't sure I was going to get Feraligatr. I actually was going to get Blastoise, which somebody did take. I think it was King Sosa. And then Sosa dropped it a few weeks in, and I did consider losing Feraligatr and picking up Blastoise, but at that point I was already, her rampage had started. It was starting. I got 4 kills in week 1, right? I don't know if week 3 passed when I saw the Blastoise available, but 3 weeks of doing a lot of stuff helped me beat Bladdle for the first time, which is very strong. So that is it. That's my team for season 9. That was my team for season 9. I will be looking forward to season 10 for sure. Big number 10. And I have no idea what I'm going to draft. I've already said a few things. You can expect Goodra again, unless someone takes it from me. Everything else on this team, though, probably not. Moltres, maybe, is the most likely thing, but I do like to switch it up, obviously. So I might not get Goodra again. There are a lot of dragons that I like. Dragon types are obviously really cool. But that's going to be it for me, and for this season. Unfortunately, that's going to be the end of me. Aside from me watching the playoff games, I'll be streaming those, but and the recording will not be. It will be unlisted. The recording will be unlisted, so you won't see them, unless you ask me to send you the unlisted thing. But anyway, that's enough. I will be back for week 10. It's very likely, if they let me in. And for that season, I'm going, my victory in this league is inevitable. It will happen eventually. There's no question. As it stands right now, I'm recording this after I've only seen the quarter finals, which we have Bladdle, Harry, Squid, and Nico Ryan in the semifinals, right? Very excited to see those games. Very excited for next season already, even though this season 9 hasn't even ended. But thank you for watching and listening to this. There's still one more thing after this when I shut up. Smell you later.
He was like chubby in Gen 3 and Gen 2, right? He looks chubby, but then like in Gen 4, when he hit priority, he's kind of straight, thin mouth, and the model was not getting chubby, and I prefer the thin mouth. Doesn't matter.
Chinchino's cool though. I really like Chinchino. I want to see it succeed.
Not as well as I would have liked to go 25%. But we took an okay. It was okay. It was heavy duty. This is going to be the last turn. Of this, right? Of the game, I want to wish. What? Yeah, I think I want to wish. Wish stuff up, wish on the way out. I wish stuff up, actually.
Peg it as like a slow Pokemon that's actually faster than Goonja.
Fine with this. Taking a hit. I'm not fine with my HDMI doing something weird. Heck. Or sorry, it doesn't spin around. It keeps its head on Suicune. The entire time it goes around.
It's gone. I don't know what that was for.